Welcome to my channel, detailing events throughout the decades. 2006. Bad Reichenhall Ice Rink Tragedy. Bad Reichenhall is a small town in the Bavarian Alps. It is a popular winter sports area, close to the Austrian border. The new year had begun with its usual seasonal heavy snowy weather. It was the afternoon of Monday, January 2nd, and families were still enjoying their Christmas holidays. A lot of people headed to the town's indoor ice skating rink to enjoy an afternoon of skating. However, while people were busy skating, at just around 3 p.m., the snow-covered roof collapsed, burying more than 50 people under rubble. Several hundred firefighters quickly arrived at the scene. They were joined by specialist rescue teams from Austria and Germany, as well as dogs trained to locate earthquake victims. Rescue efforts continued into the night, as hopes began to fade when temperatures plummeted. Those still trapped inside now faced the risk of hypothermia. Rescue efforts were halted temporarily on January 3, due to fear that the walls of the ice rink could collapse. Rescue efforts were not resumed until the following morning. Heavy lifting gear was brought in to help with the rescue. Despite the continuing heavy snowfall, rescue workers carried on, desperately trying to locate those still left inside. Sadly, 15 people were confirmed dead, 8 of these were children. Rescuers pulled out 32 people who were injured, but who had survived. The last body was not recovered until January 5. After the tragedy, grief turned to anger. Many people claimed that the whole building, which dated back to 1971, was in need of an overhaul, but this had not happened. It was alleged that officials had been planning to close the ice rink on that day, due to the severe snowfall, but this never happened, and the ice rink remained open to the public. The roof at the time was being weighed down by the heavy snowfall which had settled on the roof. Sadly, if this had been shut on that day, this tragedy would not have happened. The roof would have collapsed with no body inside the ice rink. Innocent people would not have died that day. A German engineer was given an 18-month suspended sentence for involuntary manslaughter over the deaths of the 15 people who were crushed when the roof collapsed of the ice rink. Walter Grimm admitted during his trial that he had failed to calculate how much weight the roof of the ice rink would need to bear when it was snowing heavily. It was found that the roof collapsed like a deck of cards onto the unsuspected people below. Just a year after the tragedy, and church bells rang out for 6 minutes in Bad Reichenhall, to remember all those who were killed. A memorial now stands on the grounds of the former ice rink to honor those 15 people. Sadly, we would like to hope that this was an isolated incident, but unfortunately, on January 28, 2006, the roof collapsed of the Katowice Trade Hall in Poland, under the weight of heavy snowfall, killing 65 people. We hope that lessons can be learned from these two tragedies, and this type of incident does not happen in the future. We forever remember all those people who were killed that afternoon, and all those who were injured. May you always be remembered. Thank you for watching and learning about these events throughout history. Please subscribe to my channel, to view other events throughout the decades.